I do want to say I'm very proud to announce, Grogros and Grogras, that our next guest coming to the stream, a surprise guest, a late-breaking guest. This was a morning text. I think she wants to do it. A disgruntled Disney employee. Please welcome to the stream, Leslye Headland.
Oh my goodness.
What is this music?
Just a little bit of intro music. Welcome, Leslye.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, Leslye.
Let's check out. Is this a real Marion Ravenwood?
So this is, you just missed this. We call this Marion Surprise. Yes, this is a real action figure that I purchased from Target. But unfortunately, when I opened the box, it was just random Iron Man pieces. Someone replaced it with Iron Man pieces and returned it to Target. So this is a real product, but it is not what I received. Just a leg and a gun and an arm and some fucking missiles.
Oh.
You guys
Just
have been going for
up.
2.5 hours?
Yeah, not that long.
Yeah.
And we're already losing our minds.
We're kind of still in the overture. Yeah.
Leslye, thank you for coming on. It's great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, it's good to see you guys too. I'm like so happy to be here. I'm happy to meditate.
Yes. We're looking forward to 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific time, a 10-minute meditation in honor of David Lynch.
That's right. And if you guys don't know who David Lynch is, he's my dad. So, it was sad to lose him. Yeah. Little known fact about me that David Lynch is my father. So
your father. Yes.
Sorry for your loss.
That's canon. That's canon now.
It's an Empire style twist. Yes.
Yeah. In an Empire. Oh, what are you talking about? Yeah. Can you imagine? What do you mean? Empire.
Yeah.
The hit Fox Television. I don't know if it was Fox. I'm gonna be honest.
Cookie Lions.
Lucius
Cookie
Lions.
It was Fox.
And his alternate personality, Dwight, he's held hostage by Demi Moore.
And he owns the Beat Farm.
Yeah, and he suffers from synesthesia. He sees music as colors. Oh, Empire.
What is that straw?
He's a what?
What is this? What is the straw? Oh, right. Yes. Okay. And
I got the dais of Wattos here.
Yeah. Yes. That's where we pray.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting for the meditation. We're getting ready for the meditation.
Now, Leslye, I'm looking at these Funkos in the back. What do we got for these Funkos?
Oh, yeah. What's the Funko show?
Funkos, yeah. Okay, the Funko show got... Should I stand up?
Yeah.
They're really not that... They're really kind of just, personal... They're really just like personal...
That's what we want. Yes.
Yeah, they're not expensive or cool anyway. So...
No, but it's the reflection of the personality. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I have Princess Bride, I have Buttercup and Westley, and I have an edition of the Princess Bride that I bought when I was, I think, 12 or something like that. I have Trixie and Katya, for any drag thing.
Drag race.
Drag race fans. For some reason, I can't say my R's today, so Watto and I are together here. I've got Doc and Marty, and they're in front of a Lego DeLorean that I made, that I put together. I've got an Edward Scissorhands that I bought from Forbidden Planet.
Oh, that's a McFarlane movie, Maniacs. Yeah, that's a series 3, I think.
It's a series 3, and I got it when I was like 22 or something like that. I've got all the Shining kids here. I've got Danny, I've got Wendy, I've got Jack, I've got the typewriter Lego that I put together here, and then I have my DJ set up.
Yeah.
You can't see me at all. I am terrible at DJing, but I like to do it. It just kind of makes my brain better. 2 Harley Quinns here. Margot Harley Quinn in the gold dress, and then of course, you know, what is his name again? Jack. What? Who created her? Sorry.
Paul Dini, right? Didn't Paul Dini create Harley Quinn?
Paul Dini.
Yeah.
Paul Dini. Sad that I fucked that up. And then
Leslye,
we have my iPod. We have my iPod from.
Look at
that. 2005, I want to say, maybe 20 years ago. So they're all just little. These are all my deists over here.
What do we got here on the top shelf next to the dinosaur?
Oh, okay. So these are my these are my American Girl dolls.
Wow.
You know, not a big deal. And then this is a sort of a Lego still wooden guy.
Oh wow!
That the art department at Acolyte made this for me.
That's incredibly cool.
Kind of sad I'm not a Sith, but you know,
yeah,
it was a gift, so it's not like I could return it. You know, whatever. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else cool in here. Oh, we've got my copy of Brothers Karamazov that Ben Gazzara signed.
Wow.
Just some random shit that's in here.
I'll sign your book.
I did. I said I went to go see him in a play. I think it was like Clifford Odets or something, and it was Mark Ruffalo and Lauren Ambrose. Awake and Sing. That's what it was called. Awake and Sing. And I was there because, you know, I like theater, and I was really obsessed with Mark Ruffalo. I mean, this was around this was before Hulk. This was like no one was more surprised he was Hulk than I was. I was like, the guy from You Can Count on Me is gonna, the guy that dropped out of science because he had a brain tumor, like that guy is gonna be the Hulk. Like, it was kind of wild. So anyway, I was waiting for him outside, like a totally normal person, not stalkerish at all. Ben Gazzara was in the show. He came out shuffling about. I think he passed away like pretty soon after that. And I was reading Brothers Karamazov. I can't really pronounce it. Never finished it, but anyway. And I said, "Will you sign this for me?" And he said, "I'd be honored." And then signed it, and it was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I got to ask Leslye, just one item that was passed over on the shelf. Tell me about that Poppins.
Can you see the Poppins?
I spotted the Poppins.
Oh, damn
and
it.
the Poppins went unremarked upon.
Okay, I thought you guys were gonna, I thought you guys might skip this one. So,
no.
I really loved Mary Poppins when I was little. So my mom got me this, probably when I was little. I actually don't remember. Practically perfect in every way. Yeah.
It's a good pop.
So were you I was gonna say, were you a movie fan or a book fan? What was your Poppins
Oh no,
fandom?
movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you see the film Saving Mr. Banks?
I did. Yes. Is it a Disney film?
A Disney film. It's a Disney film in which
it was great. It was great. I loved it. It was just.
It's a Disney film which does a move that I think can't be commented upon enough, which is, you know, she didn't want to. The author didn't want to sell the rights to Disney, and he really wanted them to, and so she finally reluctantly did. But to protect herself, she tape records the story meetings just to make sure she doesn't get screwed over. Then they make the movie they want to make. She's devastated by it. She hates the movie. She's crying.
Yeah, she hates the movie.
Then they make a movie in which they show how she doesn't want the original movie to be made.
Yeah.
And they show her seeing the movie and loving the movie, and then they play the audio of her that she recorded to protect herself and compare it, and it's all audio of her being kind of difficult and a jerk in the story meetings, and then they play it, and it's letter perfect to the scenes that you saw earlier of her being an asshole to the writers.
And the performance is perfect. Like Emma Thompson nailed her. Yes.
So
it is very good.
They used her recordings to show you, look how accurate it is to her recordings, even though they've made a movie in which it ends with her loving the movie. So not only did they make the movie that she feared they would make, they also made a movie about how she loved the movie, and then used her recordings to prove that it was accurate. I noticed that Star Wars Archives book on your shelf.
Yeah, we've got Star Wars Archives. We've got the Ralph McQuarrie double book. Guy.
I'm looking. I see you got a Kubrick book there. My buddy Steve made one of his movies after he passed.
Wait. So which one? The yellow one?
I see the yellow Kubrick. Yeah.
Yeah, the yellow one is okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's not great. It's all right.
This one is better. This guy. Hold on. Oh, here's my dad's book. My dad's book. We can't. Did I just like lean over and show my butt to everybody?
There we go.
So my dad's book is here. This one is really good. Real good. You guys read this one. It's sick as hell. Yeah. Yellow one's okay. Yellow one's okay. It's a little like gossipy.
The thing I'm looking at the spines. The thing I'm trying to match to see. If you got this book. You got your dad's book, but you don't.
No,
have
my
wife's book. I was just looking to see if you have my wife's book. My wife has a book.
No. Wait, what is that?
That's my wife. She wrote this book.
Priceless. Wait, I want to look this
about money. And it's the first time this book has appeared on a stream. And if this were a fundraiser, we'd be selling this would just be a book sale. We'd be selling copies of this book, but it's the fundraiser. So one of the priceless facts about money is that you can give money to bit.ly GLTS Fire.
Yeah.
It's a priceless fact about money. But I don't see it. So you don't own this.
The priceless facts about money. Okay, got it. I'm looking it up right now.
Patrick, where's your copy?
My copy's right here.
Because I figure if you like books, you might like this book. You know?
Melody. Ooh, great name. Man.
Great name.
She just stepped down from the board of Starbucks, did she not?
That's true.
Did she?
True.
Yeah.
She just stepped down from the board of Starbucks.
Well, she's an author now.
She had a good run.
She had a good run. Lord. What was she doing on the board? Just being awesome?
Yeah. She's being pretty
like
awesome.
Kicking ass and taking names?
Yeah, and writing them on the cup if they need to.
Yeah.
She's writing the names on the cup.
If she takes a name, she might put it on a Starbucks cup. She doesn't work at Starbucks. She's very rich like me. But we've been seeing a lot of movies lately. We went and saw Wicked.
Haven't seen it. Heard it's great. Didn't see the play either.
You like witches?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like finding out that a witch you thought was bad might be misunderstood? Do you like that? Maybe not bad. Maybe everyone else is bad.
Were you going to say that it's a subgenre now? Because it is.
I was going to say that. I was going to say it's an anti-Phantom Menace, but I don't know if that's right. Phantom Menace is, we all know this is the worst guy in the world. What if he was a nice little boy?
Sure.
But then you find out how he becomes radicalized kind of by the internet.
By the internet.
Thought leaders whispering in his head about male suppression or whatever. And then he becomes exactly the bad guy you thought he was. Like, he wasn't misunderstood. Yes. He just got corrupted.
He was just.
Right.
Yeah. Wicked
is like, she was never bad.
Everyone else, you think she's bad. Turns out everyone else is bad.
Correct. Right.
Now, I know that there were.
Is the pink one's bad too? The
Ariana? No. I mean, some of these are Wicked Part 2 spoilers. But no, they're both nice. I guess that's the biggest twist. It's kind of positions itself as like, can you believe they were friends before they became enemies? In an like Obi-Wan, Darth Vader way? And then it ends up at like, no, they're still friends. They were friends the whole time.
I guess they
started as enemies and then became friends. Yeah.
Now,
right, because they're in,
I saw it with Melody. We saw it at the Americana, where we also saw the 6888. And as soon as the movie was over, I said, get me on the phone with the director. I want to talk to that filmmaker. I want to tell him how much I love Wicked, what a good job it is. I also, and this hasn't been released anywhere, I also had a pitch, Watto, I haven't talked to you at this because I didn't want to disappoint you. Yeah. We know that I'm like, you're changing up some of the lore of Wizard of Oz. You know, we all thought it was one thing, but it's actually another. And we all know that ultimately the downfall of the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba, as we now know her, was that someone throws water on her, and that's her one weakness. And I said, I know a guy who is available for part 2. What if instead of water, someone throws Watto at her? And that's
you just heave ho, and
he says,
you kind of do a fastball special.
Watto World.
Yeah, we pitched that too. We went to Universal. And we said, "You're sitting on this IP." Famously, the first movie, the Costner film, was expensive to shoot because you shot on water, and that's difficult. We said you'd save a lot of money if you shot on Watto.
Yeah. Watto World.
Just have all the actors stand on my belly.
Yeah.
that just sounded like shat on Watto, but I think it was just the accent.
For the right price, they can do that too.
Yeah. But they said, we've already filmed. It'd be too hard for them to, they actually said, if we'd only thought of that earlier, that would have been a really good direction to go. But we've already done it with water. And I said, this is easy fix. It's a few keystrokes. You swap out the water, you add in the Watto. But they were like,
well, Jesus walked on Watto.
Jesus walked on Watto. And this is today, Leslye, today is Patrick's birthday, and it's his Jesus year.
Yeah.
It's the Jesus year.
You're 33?
I'm 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so this is it. This is the last
before too long, you'll be like a long playing record.
Yeah.
45?
I love this so much, I'm never leaving.
Perfect. Leslye, I heard that when you were working on The Acolyte, across many points in the development and the production and everything, that your mantra was, we're in Modesto, California in 1976, that you were constantly trying to get back to the core of where did this come from out of George, and let's go back there rather than trying to analyze the finished product and what it's been and all of that. Now,
I would yell it. I would yell it on set. You yell it
to everyone else.
I'd be like, ready, let's go. They'd be like, sound. I'd be like, great. I'd be like, all right, Modesto, California doesn't want to take over that hardware store. Let's go. It's like, and then it started to just become Modesto. Like it just started yelling Modesto. By the way, is that where he's from? We don't know. Is that canon?
Yeah, it's canon.
No, I'm curious.
It was stationery store though. Hardware store.
Was it stationary?
Yeah.
I thought it was
hardware store. I would have been like, this is almost like making a car. I can make a car out of everything in here.
Just kit bash the whole store.
Yeah, turn the whole hardware store into that's a good idea for a movie. A hardware store that's also a car.
A hardware store?
Is it?
Yeah. It's just like you're driving a car, then all of a sudden it changes and it's a fully functional hardware store.
It can make keys for you.
Yeah. But then it changes back into a car.
You are making these personal movies for yourself that you're saying you're not showing anybody. Are you working with anyone on those movies? Like, could Leslye work on a movie with you?
Sure, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I get other people to direct them.
Oh, wait, are you talking about George or Watto?
George. I'm talking to George right now.
George.
Yeah.
George.
Sorry. Yeah.
Would you want to work on a movie with George?
A personal movie. It would be experimental. No one will see it. We won't show it to anybody. You won't even see it. I won't even you can't even look through the viewfinder. You can't look through the thing.
Look through the thing. Like a viewfinder? Oh wait, I have one of those too. Hold on.
Do one of these.
One of those too.
You do that. You can eyeball it.
Oh, Viewmaster. That's what it's called. It's called a Viewmaster.
Yeah. Oh, we're playing Viewmasters? We're playing Viewmasters?
Yeah, let's do Viewmasters. So we got this guy.
Yeah.
Classic.
And then we've got Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown.
Oh, that's a good reel.
It's a good
George
one.
is gonna love that.
And we got Five Will Goes West, and those are the only two I have.
His buddy Steve produced that.
Yes, yeah, Spielberg all the way, man.
Yeah.
Although
Leslye.
there was some like drama there, right? Like there was some drama. Or am I thinking of Cats?
The whole immigrant experience.
More Cat. Yeah.
The whole immigrant experience is very dramatic. To this day.
Yeah, it is, isn't it, George?
Yeah, there's some drama there.
That's like the most underrated statement that's ever happened. Very dramatic. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Here we go. Oh, this is just, I'll see what I got in the old sleevey. What I got here.
Oh, you've got a full sleeve. Yeah.
This is just some of my stuff. I got a Popeye and Paint Ahoy.
Oh, my goodness.
Sounds like a pretty good adventure. Popeye, of course, the non-spinach variety is currently in the public domain. Anyone can make a Popeye as long as he's the early Thimble Theater Popeye and not the later Altman Popeye.
This is the thing that Disney kind of pioneered.
Well, why don't you guys make it? Oh,
we're working on a couple.
What Disney's hiding. Oh, Disney's hiding. Go.
No, we're working on a couple Popeye pictures right now. No, it was the thing that kept Mickey Mouse out of the public domain for so long. They kept on fighting to extend the copyright length, but then the thing they did that was very ingenious was they said, well, when Steamboat Willie, the first appearance of Mickey Mouse, goes into the public domain and we can't fight it anymore, all that is going into the public domain is the stuff established only in Mickey Mouse's first appearance. So they were like, we still have the copyright to Mickey Mouse in color. We have the copyright to the modern designs. That's a different iteration of Mickey Mouse. And so similarly, Popeye has gone into the public domain this year, but he doesn't eat spinach until a couple years into the run. So anyone can make a Popeye movie, but you can't have him eat spinach.
However, Mickey Mouse, it wasn't just Steamboat Willie. So he can turn animals into instruments when he's supposed to be driving a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also Plain Crazy and Gallopin' Gaucho also came out the same year. So he can smoke. He can also lure a woman.
Balloons on smoking. Go ahead. Keep going.
He can also smoking Mickey is in the public domain. So as long as Mickey's smoking a cigarette, he's yours. He can also lure a woman onto a plane under false pretenses, and then once in the air, say, "Give me a kiss." And when the woman's like, "No, I don't want to give you a kiss," he can do fly in ways that are terrifying to this woman. It was Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
You know, Bob Iger appeared on Mickey's 90th birthday special, and everyone's talking about how great Mickey and Minnie were, and they showed their first appearance, and they used a cartoon from like years into the run where they're like singing to each other. I'm like, show the plane footage, show Mickey going up in the air. As a matter of fact, we can show Plain Crazy on this stream.
Yeah.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
Can we put it up in a little side thing and we put Plain Crazy?
I just like George, the behavior you described. If Mickey Mouse was on a commercial flight right now and did that, he would get arrested. Yet, if you make a movie in which Mickey Mouse does that, they cannot arrest you. You are legally in the clear for depicting it in media. Disney can't say shit about it.
Well, he did it in his own personal airplane.
Yes.
And,
okay.
Still illegal.
It was in a PJ. It was a private jet. Yes.
Yeah.
Public domain.
This is the first one that was ever made. This is the first Mickey Mouse cartoon that was ever made. And the plot of this is insane. First of all, the person he idolizes, Charles Lindbergh, those of you who are fans of Philip Roth and the HBO miniseries, The Plot Against America, Lindbergh becomes president and is seen as a dystopian alternate history because he had Nazi sympathies.
Now, Leslye, the funniest time to talk to you about the Acolyte while Plain Crazy is playing.
Please. Yes.
Indeed.
I mean, there's one I love the show. I really loved it so much.
Thank you for watching.
Not to say that because you're here. I've been saying it forever. I do want to talk to you about Ki-Adi-Mundi, and I do think it's fun to do it while playing crazy.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's
Ki-Adi-Mundi was a Jedi on the Jedi Council in the Star Wars prequels. He shows up in the Acolyte. People online were mad because it didn't line up with the birth year on a digital, a CD-ROM game that came out in like 2002. Was that something you guys were aware of? I want this to be on the record, and I want it to be while we're watching Plain Crazy.
I asked Pablo Hidalgo, I said, if I put Ki-Adi-Mundi in a small business meeting, not the High Council. In that scene, they mentioned we should alert the High Council. He says that. And because of that, you would assume he's not on the High Council unless he was saying,
he's not gotten there yet.
We should alert myself, like we should alert myself. So he said if he's not on the High Council, that you can use him. I don't remember what he said about the birth date or the lifespan. But yeah, Pablo said it was cool. Many people read the script, and it got through that. But video games are canon, aren't they? I assumed that.
But this was like an encyclopedia video game.
I'll take the L.
Yeah.
Well,
no. This one was not canon. I want to be clear on this. This one was not canon.
This was a legend. That's what anything before a certain point. It was a legend, And so take
much
the
like
L.
Plain Crazy. Yeah, take the legend. Plain Crazy is kind of a legend now.
Oh yeah, this is like, I don't know if you guys know this, but it is Legends. Yeah,
it is Legends. Leslye, here's what I was trying to set up earlier. You spent all this time and you used this as this rallying cry and this sort of mantra during filming. Let's get ourselves in the headspace of Modesto. And even already you brought up the hardware store and George corrected it was a stationary store. Now is a rare opportunity to actually kind of like dig into the brain of George Lucas and sort of try to compare notes with him of sort of where you were coming from and where you tried to figure out he was coming from and the meaning of his things at the time he made them. No pressure, but I feel like it's a rare opportunity to get the definitive answers from George himself.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to start out by saying thank you for changing my life. I appreciate it. I'm sure you get that from a lot of people, but you're a legend, so that's just what's up. I have a question about making a show without legacy characters. How do you feel about that? Is that something that you get excited by? Because episode 4 doesn't have any legacy characters in it because it introduces what becomes legacy characters. So I'm curious if now moving forward and I'm make it even more specific. How do you feel about legacy characters and whether or not we should use them? And then I'll ask the second half of the question.
Right. Well, I mean, my notion for what the third trilogy was going to be, what had much less emphasis on legacy characters. It was going to be about the wills, the tiny little microbiotic creatures that control the universe and the Force. So it was actually Disney that was more interested in, let's make the main characters new. I've always, even though the prequels obviously have legacy characters because we're telling an earlier part of the story, but I actually think you have a lot more freedom to do something different if you move outside the space of legacy characters. I think legacy characters, obviously there's a certain nostalgic pop that people get out of, they want to see characters they like again. But I think I'm always more excited by, let's tell some new stories. Let's tell a story that we haven't done before. I mean, part of the reason I did the prequels the way I did them was because I wanted them to be different from the movies I had made earlier. So I think it's exciting whenever you do something different. I think the whole point of Star Wars was to try different things. People get very angry when you do anything with Star Wars, though. The familiar. There's a certain portion of the fandom and the audience that always is going to get mad. People were mad when Empire came out because it wasn't like A New Hope. And and I hadn't even, and to see how ridiculous it was, I hadn't even finished the movie yet. Like I didn't finish that movie until they put it on Disney Plus. You know, I was still working on those first movies, but people were already getting angry about them. But I didn't finish the New Hope until it came out in the McClunky version on Disney Plus.
Right. We have to meditate, but I have so many more. Is it okay if I ask you like 5 more questions?
Yeah, let's do one where we got 2 minutes.
Oh, we've got 2 minutes? Okay, in those 2 minutes, I just want to give you another. So you changed my life because you introduced to me a world that, you know, I wanted to live in forever. But I also want to thank you for, with the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, forcing forcing theaters to convert to digital, because without that, people like myself who came up as directors about 10 years later, without that, we wouldn't have the careers that we do. So thanks again for that.
You're welcome. And another person who was very excited about digital filmmaking was David Lynch, who made the transition and was very enthusiastic. Said he'd never go back to film because there are too many. It's too difficult. It's the barrier to entry is a lot. Okay, so we're at 3
p.m. Okay.
So we're all going to take 10 minutes of silent meditation in honor of David Lynch.
Hello.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
We're doing 10 minutes of silent meditation in honor of David Lynch.
Starting 10 minutes ago?
No, starting like 2 minutes and 19 seconds ago.
Shit.
It was a thing that David Lynch's children posted that they wanted everyone who had an interest in honoring his memory do it at noon Eastern time, or noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So you've just happened to come on the stream. 2 minutes and 39 seconds now into a 10-minute meditation.
Okay. Well, what do I do? Do you want me to log off and come back on? And
well, I feel like you can join in for the last 7 minutes of the meditation if you want, or you can leave and come back in 7.
7 minutes would be what time?
It would be 12:10.
12:10 would. So if I were to leave now, come back at 12:10, then I wouldn't have interrupted the silent meditation.
Yeah.
Right, but once again, you can join the meditation, and if you leave now and you come back at 12:10, then people might go like, "Oh, he doesn't care about David Lynch."
Shit.
So it's your call. No one's going to hold it against you that you joined the meditation late, but I do think, though, read into the statement of you coming on mid-meditation, leaving, and returning only when the meditation is over.
You don't think anyone is going to mind if I join the meditation late? I mean,
I don't think so. I think it's a kind of a more the merrier scenario, and in fact, they'll sort of think it's impressive that you adjusted so quickly.
Is that one of the basic? Yeah,
it sort of feels like you saw that we were doing it, and then you said, "Oh, I should hop on now so I can also join in."
Oh,
you know?
Right.
But is that one of the basic tenets of meditation? Is the more the merrier?
I think so.
Okay.
I've always felt so.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 6 minutes left. I just think you kind of got to shit or get off the pot, because the longer I talk through the options with you, the less I'm meditating. So now you're kind of pulling away from my meditation.
Do you need an extra couple of minutes at the tail end of?
No, I'm happy to just take the remaining 6 minutes, 30 seconds now, but I want to pick a lane here and just do it, you know?
I don't necessarily want to either shit or get off the pot. I don't want to be on the pot at all, really.
Okay,
but
so we can change the metaphor. Do you want to?
What metaphor do you want to change it to?
Pick a lane.
Pick a lane?
Yeah, one lane is.
Watto, are there lanes on your planet?
Yeah, of course. On Tatooine, yeah.
Are there lanes in that race? What race was it?
In the Boonta Eve Classic, of course, it's all lanes. What are you talking about?
It looked like a free for all to me. All right, I'll join.
No, that's a very structured. Okay, so now you have 5 minutes. You only have 5 minutes. You successfully shaved 5 minutes off your meditation.
Okay, all right. Okay. Do I close my eyes too?
You do whatever you want to do. It's yours.
Okay.
Dealer's choice.
That's a new metaphor.
Take it or leave it.
That's not a metaphor.
I didn't promise another metaphor.
All right.
Even better. A slide. Ow! Y'all didn't get the POV. Let me redo. Yes. Have you stopped calling your ex? Yes. Do you know your worth?
Yes.
Have you had your post-breakup blow up?
Yeah.
Are you happy in your own company?
Yes.
Are you ready to settle down? You feeling cute?
It is 12:10.
That was very refreshing. Thank you, Scott, for observing that.
Yeah, that was really powerful.
Leslye, Scott, have the two of you. Oh,
yeah.
I was going to introduce Leslye and Scott, George, but what were you about to say?
I would say I would sort of describe that as meditation bang bang.
What?
Meditation bang bang.
No, I heard you. I just like a lot of times people say what, like what do you mean? Not what.
More like meditation death ray.
I just mean that bang and bang are both notoriously loud noises.
And death ray is a gun that goes pew 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 pew.
What?
Have you met Leslye, Scott?
No. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Leslye Headland, creator of The Acolyte, writer director of Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette.
The drop the it's cleaner.
And the current reigning queen of Broadway, you guys. So
Cult of Love running now on Broadway. Limited run closes February
2nd. February 2nd.
Ooh.
Your final weeks to catch it.
I'm not going to be able to, but thank you.
Not a Broadway.
Are you in LA?
I'm in LA. Yeah.
Are you? How are you doing? You okay?
I'm doing okay, although the winds that are starting like right now are concerning. But
yeah,
I mean that's not why I can't make the Broadway show. The fire. I just can't.
No, I was just appreciating. I was appreciating the ring light, and I figured.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, we
probably lives in LA.
Yeah, you can see that in the reflection of my glasses. Is that what?
Yeah.
Hi guys. Hi.
Hi.
Hi everyone. Hi George.
Hello.
George,
are you worried that people are going to think the reason that you don't go to Broadway shows is because of the fires?
I've been to several Broadway shows.
All pre-fire.
Prove it.
At least in not pre-fire historically. Obviously, that would be ridiculous. But
I do have a playbill over here on my.
Show us.
Show us.
What's the playbill?
Pixar, it didn't happen. That's what the kids.
So
say.
I mean,
they probably don't say it anymore. The youth.
We gotta do another fundraising push. Leslye, I'm trying to think of something
what are we at right now? What amount are we at right now?
We are currently at $11,586.
Amazing.
Which is good.
Wow.
Did he
go
okay,
did he
so
go
outside?
outside?
It's about LA.
If it's about LA, I'm there, regardless of where it is in the world.
Right.
Did
you ever listen to the musical City of Angels?
Oh,
that sounds like it'd be up your alley.
Of course, yeah.
But
Leslye, your show is about what? Okay. It's what city? I mean, Leslye, your show.
Oh, it's.
I'll direct this question for you, Leslye. Where is your show set?
It is set in Connecticut.
Yeah, no. I don't think
Heard
so.
of it? No. Sorry.
If it's not LA, I'm not interested.
Yeah, but Connecticut is just super metal, you guys. Like, just get out there as soon as you can.
It's a hardcore play.
For us.
Oh yeah, Griffin's seen it. I forgot that you showed up for me and supported me.
Oh,
Watto, thank you so much, Watto.
Oh, I did go. Yes.
Thank you.
But Watto, you don't have to pay for a seat if you just hover above a seat, right?
That's what I do.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of nature's TKTS. If you fly above the nosebleeds, they can't charge you.
The comments are dragging me.
Leslye, if we raise another $1,000 in the next 10 minutes, will you give us something? Will you answer an unanswered question from the Acolyte?
Sure. Yeah.
Think of something that
you got to make some money.
Something that you could answer, or you could like canonically give an answer to, and we'll see if we can raise another $1,000.
Okay. Yeah, I have a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is George going to ask me?
Well, I believe you have at least 3 or 4 questions that you before we went into the meditation.
Oh yes, you have more questions for George.
Oh yes, I did have a question for you.
One of them was about digital filmmaking,
which is yes.
Which is just a thing. It wasn't really a question, and so you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Question. A comedy rule. If anybody knows that's from, throw it into the comment. My question for you was, do you feel that in Revenge of the Sith, during the sperm opera, when Palpatine says that Plagueis could create life, is he lying or is he telling the truth?
A little from column A, a little from column B.
How so?
Well, a good liar will sort of blend truth and fiction.
This is like in The Music Man, where
yes,
where
what do you talk?
Yes,
what do you talk?
Where Harold Hill, yes, of course, where Harold Hill promises to buy them instruments and uniforms as well as give them music lessons.
Correct.
And he delivers on the instruments.
Yep.
Because every good con man delivers part of what they're promising.
That's how you keep them on the hook.
Yes, exactly. It's a lot. I mean, this is like the Gilded Age, which is about New York, so I'm not really interested in it, but I have perused it. But in the Grifter style con in there, Grifter's great LA movie.
Yes.
Great
Ooh.
LA movie. Yeah.
So many shots of, no, I said Grifters.
Out of the.
What's the name of the city in Music Man? What's the name of that?
Gary, Indiana.
Well,
Gary, Indiana.
River
River City.
You're going to have to be more specific about cities,
right?
Because there are
the kid sings the song Gary, Indiana, but that kid is a resident of River City, correct?
He goes. There's a cut verse where he goes into all the places he's ever lived.
And it's a patter song. It's a patter song because the show needed more patter songs. Yeah. Right here, I say right here in River City. Right. Sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say it. Always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Cultivate horse sense with a cool head and a keen eye. Don't put me down.
You are the queen of Broadway.
Right. Baby. You got to get out here. You got to get out here.
At some point,
it's like Day of the Locust out here. Or I guess that's Washington D.C. right now.
Great LA book.
Yes, yeah, that's your territory.
Yeah, that's why Sunset Boulevard, Day of the Locust.
Yeah, what are the other great Hollywood musicals? La La Land. You love La La Land.
I love it. It's got 3 laws in the title. La la la. And.
It's the first one that fulfilled your love of laws. A title law.
I originally thought it was a town in North
La La Land. La La Land.
No, George.
You don't pronounce
it. Sounds like you do.
You just said La La La, and it's La La Land, so it's La La Land. But you said La La. It's got 3 laws. La La La. No, it's got 2 laws and a la. La La La. La La Land. Unless you pronounce it La La Land, which you just said you didn't. So which la
la la la la
la la la.
This is very much like Emperor Palpatine with his Darth Plagueis speech, which is like you'll say something that's a little true and something that's not quite true.
Yeah, but which part of it is
true?
You
know, right. It's a little like in The Music Man when Harold Hill is promising to sell the children uniforms, music lessons, and instruments, and he does make good on the instruments because you have to kind of put the worm on the hook, so to speak. The worm has to be real.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes. Well, just as I say, it takes judgment, brain, and maturity to score in a ballcline game. I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket, and I call that slough. The first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. Say first medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle, and the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pitchback suit.
Ooh.
If you guys want to hear more, you got to give more money. We're not giving.
Yes.
That's true.
We're willing to sing
Scott's
the
gonna sing
entire
that.
score.
Scott's singing.
Yeah.
Scott's singing.
Let's do this. Is there
Ice cream.
Emperor Palpatine.
Ice cream.
Emperor Palpatine
Can we-
says Darth Plagueis was able to bring people back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Yeah.
Well,
thought-
here's the thing. Could he bring people back to life, or could he create life? So maybe that's the true false of it all.
No, it required. This is the thing. And this is the truth. It's like a sourdough starter. He needed to have he can't create life, but he can, if there's a little spark of life, he can bring it back to life. And the part that was not true is the part where his apprentice killed him in his sleep.
Girl.
that part's a lie.
He was wide awake. His apprentice
All
kicked him
right,
in the balls so hard he died.
His apprentice murdered him via
Oh, I have.
nut kick.
Yeah.
I want to say the
Hard died
National
right
Zoo
away.
Panda. I want to say the National Zoo Panda. If you want to hear my opinions on Sutton Foster and Hugh Jackman, I'm
Ooh.
assuming that you mean the musical they were in,
Yes,
and
Not
not
their
some
recent-
other. So I'm assuming that.
the music man.
And we need.
I'm
we
the
need
one
more
to
money
talk
for
to about
that.
opinions about that.
Yeah, see, Scott will answer that part, and I'll answer the.
All right, well, let's do the round. Let's go around.
Let's
And
say,
money.
is there
Wait,
a number? Can we establish a stretch goal where if we hit that amount while the two of you are still on the stream, you will share your opinions on Sutton Foster and Hugh Jackman, fill in blank, and also perform one complete Music Man number together.
Okay, so here's what we need. We have $194 until I'm just going to ask Leslye the questions on screenrants.com, 11 unanswered questions from the Acolyte. Okay?
So we're saying
Go
that's
for it.
12,000? That's 12,000.
12,000. So we are so close to that. And then
Okay.
what do you want to say? Do you want to say 12,500?
I think 13. I think make it 13.
Okay, 13.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
All right,
Great.
and I believe
So
I have
Oh,
Which song?
National Zoo Panda. You are National Zoo Panda, baby. Oh, where in New York? Or are you
and
hanging
I
out with
believe I have
Scott?
to eat another tiny apple.
Getting
Yes.
into it.
Which song would we sing? Is it seems, Leslye, it seems like you're a Harold Hill type. Acolyte,
Well,
if you may.
Yeah, well, I can't do Marion, clearly.
Okay.
Any
I
year,
could do Marion.
10 years as a smoker. Can you do Marion?
Sure, I'll do Marion.
Or do you want to do pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheap, talk a lot, pick a little
Oh,
more.
we shouldn't do any more. We shouldn't do any more than that.
Yeah, save it for 13,000.
Oh, that's it. Oh, yeah, we gotta wait. Yeah.
But I think
But
that's the right
seriously, Scott,
choice.
So you went to see Sunset Boulevard, but do you are you like a musical theater kid?
I thank you. I actually am older than what you think I am, but I did musicals growing up until maybe 25 or so, and then got out the game. But yeah,
Got out the game before it got bloody, man.
before I
Okay.
became too popular at it.
So we are at 12,000. Okay?
13,000,
So
baby.
Well, yeah, but the
13,000 is Music Man. 12,000 is Screen Rant Acolyte questions answered.
Okay.
Okay.
But I want to ask Scott really quickly what musicals, just I will answer those questions. But Scott, I'm curious which musicals you did and what part you played.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure I believe you. I'm just telling you that.
Chicago Billy Flynn, Little Shop, The Dentist, Oklahoma Curly, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat Reuben, Scarecrow Wizard of Oz, Christmas Carol, Young Scrooge and Fred.
Scott, so you were playing like the Han Solos of the musical theater, like the lovable rogues. That's who you were playing.
Can I be honest? I don't know who that is.
Well, you're dressed like him.
In what way?
You're wearing like him.
Classic. You're dressed like Han
I'm wearing
Solo.
clothes?
Jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a jacket and a shirt on. That's classic Han Solo shit.
Well,
Are all the other characters in your movies naked? I haven't seen these really.
Chewbacca is.
It's pretty close.
C-3PO. I've seen a picture of him. He's totally naked.
In Phantom, he's naked as hell.
Yeah.
Hey, I got little briefs on.
Okay, let me ask these questions. Here we go.
Basically, Scott's box right there. That's basically put some glasses on him.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Is this going to bore Scott, though?
Oh, no.
Well, listen, we're making money. It's fine.
We're making money.
We're making money.
Leslye, do Osha and May ever reunite?
Oh,
Osha is involved in your show?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There are a lot of accidents on the job?
These are sort of... These are like unanswered cliffhanger questions. Is that the framework of the article, Patrick? Okay.
Oh, I see.
Right.
I see.
Okay.
Right. So instead of Nichols and May, this is Osha and May. We replaced Mike Nichols with a workplace safety department.
To be fair, that does sound like a Nichols and May sketch.
So that's K as in knife.
Uh-huh.
Nobody. A as in aardvark. P as in pneumonia. L as in
Leslye.
luscious. A as in aardvark again.
A as in
N as in Newell Post Kaplan.
N as in New Hope.
Yes, I think so. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Acolyte.
Enough stalling.
Okay, acolyte.
Oh, wait.
I love that George has definitely not seen the show, so this will be.
Leslye, are you sure you want to do this? And
enough what?
Are you sure you don't want to save these ideas for a canonical novelization, perhaps, that you write, or
enough what?
A canonical novelization, comic books? There are so many more other. If you don't do the second season, there are so many other avenues to explore these ideas. Are you really sure you want to let these go?
Did somebody say enough stalling?
Yeah, but we moved on from that, George. That was like 45 seconds.
You can never get enough Carl stalling.
Wait, Scott makes a really good point.
Scott
makes a really good point. If there's anything that I feel like won't make money if I answer it.
Yes, that's fine.
Great.
Yeah, okay. It'll purely be mercenary, and you guys need to keep,
Yes.
If we hit another thing, no, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
But let's speed round these. Let's speed round what.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Any
The
answers?
answer is yes. Yeah.
Did Mother Coral survive?
Yes.
Does Yoda help with Vernestra's cover-up?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, he does it at don't come at me in the comments because he does it in Clone Wars, so I don't want to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did the light whip cause Chimere's scar?
Yes.
Was there actually something romantic between Osha and Chimere?
Sorry?
Was there something actually romantic?
What would...
I'm just going by this list.
That's the question?
That's the question.
I'm not gonna answer that.
Okay.
Weird question, bro.
Was Chimere a true Sith?
No.
Okay. Is this how Darth Plagueis learned to create life? You can hold off on that. That's okay. How do Osha and Chimere factor into Palpatine's origin story? Okay, great. Will Darth Plagueis ever return to the Star Wars screen? Okay, great. How did Yoda learn about the rule of two? This is not applicable to you, but I'm just going off this list. How old is Ki-Adi-Mundi really?
Girl.
And that's...
You already asked me that, though. I
did already ask you that. Wait, I'll ask you one.
From a certain point of view.
One. There was someone on the phone. They were talking to someone in the Senate on the phone. Was that Palpatine?
You mean an episode...
Wait, they have
when
phones?
When Vernestra was on the phone and she said, I need to see him?
Yes.
There are phones in Star Wars?
She's asking to see Yoda.
Space phone.
Yeah. But there's someone who they're talking to and they hear a voice and people thought it was Palpatine.
Oh,
okay, great. We did it.
When I get a question like that, sometimes I'll just say, sure.
Yeah, Scott has a question.
I have a question. Has anyone ever gone into hyperspace or speed or whatever they call it, and then it's gone so fast that they time traveled? And if so, couldn't all of these characters jump in a spaceship and meet everyone in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
Yeah,
and like join up with them and fight whoever they're fighting? I assume Jack Black's character.
I got the question building on to that.
Yeah.
Why don't all the characters that everyone loves all go into hyperspace and then travel through time and land in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? So when we pay a lot of money for a ticket to a theme park, all the characters we like are there. We don't have to worry about whether or not the timelines show up. I want to go to Disneyland and high five everyone at the same time. I don't want to be told they wouldn't exist here. You know what else wouldn't exist in this universe at this time period? Fucking Dole Whip. Let me hang out with all of them.
So, George, can they time travel by hyperspace, George?
Sure. Yeah, they could probably do that.
So where do we start the letter campaign to get Osha and all the other characters that we obviously know their names of to hang
Scott
out?
Hasn't seen.
Drag me, Scott. Drag me. Yeah.
To hang out with Grogu.
Yeah.
And teach him English. And
Also,
how did Yoda learn English?
There's a much simpler way. Like you're trying to use a spaceship to do that, and it's actually it's theoretically possible. It hasn't ever happened before, but it could happen. But it'd be much easier to use the Force.
Use the Force to time travel?
Yeah.
Oh, let's more, George.
You can use. Well, here's the thing. Here's a really cool thing about the Force. You can use the Force to do anything.
Oh.
Did you know that?
To do anything.
Good things or bad things, because there's good Force and bad Force, but you can use the Force. There's a lot of things that you know how they talk about like what percentage of your brain you actually use. That's
the
like
Lucy rule.
That's like the Force. There's a lot of stuff the Force can do that it hasn't done yet. Like if you use the Force hard enough in the world of Star Wars, you could break out of the world of Star Wars like Harvey Korman at the end of Blazing Saddles and have a character attend a screening of a Star Wars
Buy a
movie.
ticket for Star Wars, yes.
That is how strong the Force is. Now, the amount of Force power it would take to do that is so immense that it probably will never happen, but it could happen. Anything can happen with the Force. You know, there's an interesting thing, because I'm wearing this shirt as a tribute to David Lynch because I offered him the chance to direct Revenge of the Jedi. That's what it was called when I offered him the chance. And he wasn't interested. He wanted to make Dune instead. So he made Dune.
It hurt. I had the biggest headache.
Yeah,
have you guys heard that story?
Yeah, he said zero interest. Zero interest. Nada. None.
He was telling me about Ewoks, and I got the biggest headache.
He didn't want to do that. But then, and this is a spoiler for Twin Peaks The Return, but at the end of Twin Peaks The Return, they changed the past so that Agent Cooper changes. Yeah.
Is that the Force they're using?
Yep. And I think so. I mean, David didn't like to talk about like what his movies meant. So like whatever you think it means, that's what it means. So in my case, I'm like, Agent Cooper used the Force to make it so Laura Palmer never died, or was never murdered anyway. And
Make it so.
I interpret that to be David's way of sort of saying, like, if he could go back, maybe he would have directed Revenge of the Jedi.
You think that was his biggest regret?
Well, yeah, because at the end of it, whenever he says, Agent Cooper's like, "What year is this?" I like to think that the year it actually was
1982 or one or.
Yeah, still enough time to sign on to the project.
Yeah, like, am I too late to accept the offer to direct Star Wars Episode 6?
When he shows up at what he thinks is Laura Palmer's house, and he is surprised by the woman who answers the door, it's because he thought he was at Skywalker Ranch, And that George would answer, and he'd go on second thought, give me those Ewoks. I'm in.
Yeah. And I was.
And Laura's going to be like, why did you bring me here? And he's like, I don't know. Just, I need an assistant.
And Carrie Page, when she screams at the end, it's with
That's excitement. A good life.
It's an excitement for this new movie, Revenge of the Jedi, directed by David Lynch. I can't wait. I think it cuts off before she finishes the line. I can't wait. That's just my interpretation.
So who do you think is the better filmmaker, David Lynch or Richard Marquand?
Great question.
Question. Richard did what I told him. And I like that.
Always the sign of a great filmmaker.
I won't say it's the sign of a great filmmaker, but I will say that I liked it a lot. And he perished shortly after that.
Perished?
Oh, right.
Doesn't that imply like something horrible happening? Oh my goodness. That poster, by the way, leads me to you say the Force can do anything.
Yeah, the Force can do anything.
Could it act as Viagra or Cialis or?
Patrick,
were you taking small one posters out of the media assets?
Yes, George, I had to because I had to upload other stuff for future.
Is there a limit to the number of assets we can have?
Yeah.
Okay, but save these small one posters to a folder on your desktop so we can add them back later. In the meantime, George, very important question. Can the Force function like Blue Chew?
Is Blue Chew sponsoring today, by the way?
Mm-hmm. Blue Chew is made out of little pieces of Toydarian flesh.
Does Blue Chew have midichlorians in it?
Toydarians are not killed to make it, but it's just like a little bit of fatty deposits they can remove from sides, from the thigh, from the arm.
Yeah. Toydarians are famously always hard. So even just a little bit of Toydarian flesh.
Yeah, so when you take a Blue Chew, just bear in mind you're chewing on Toydarian. Yeah, wow. The Force, there's nothing I've yet to think of anything that the Force can't do.
So you've tried to think of things the Force can't do?
I tried, I couldn't. And I'm pretty imaginative.
What are some of the craziest things?
What are the things you did think of?
That you thought were going to foil the Force, and you realized, in fact, no, the Force could do them.
Like turning a hardware store that could turn into a car and then back into a hardware store. That's
the Force could do that.
That was recent.
That's also canon.
Why are the Transformers always changing into cars?
Because they're not comfortable with who they are.
Why can't they change into
on a fundamental level? They're not comfortable with who they are. That's why. At a fundamental
and also,
level.
Scott, to be fair, Megatron turned into a gun, and your question is very ignorant of the history of Beast Wars. So maybe check yourself.
I totally apologize. I have not watched.
Transformers are turning into all sorts of different things.
Yeah, they're not. They're robots in disguise. There's a very broad spectrum.
Wait, the robot is the disguise. This is the Clark Kent Superman discussion. Is the robot the disguise? Or the car?
The robot's
in disguise. The disguise is not the robot. The robot is the
robot. But what is
Yeah.
the disguise and what? So the disguise is the car?
Scott, once again, you're making it very clear. You're showing your ass that you didn't go see Transformers 1, a film that makes it very clear that their purest form is humanoid-shaped robot, and only by graduating through the ranks of society do they gain transformation powers to then be able to put on a disguise.
So the fact that they are humanoid in looks implies that humans created them based on their own image?
If you saw Transformers 1, you'd understand it's their planet. That's how they were born.
Scott, according to some religions, God created man in his image.
Sure.
Right.
In all the religions, I believe.
That's the story?
Yeah.
That's the end of it? Okay, great.
So maybe God created the Transformers in his image too. That doesn't mean that Transformers
George, what did you
look like
create
us.
in
That
your
means that we look
image?
like God.
So you think there was no middleman between God and the Transformers?
Well, if St. Peter works the door.
No, but wait a second. Transformers have their own God. They don't have our God.
Who's their God? The Allspark?
Isn't it Unicron? No, the Allspark is like their Force.
Yeah, what does Unicron look like? What does
Unicron looks like? He looks like a planet.
Okay, and what does a planet look like? Looks like a person's head.
It looks like a planet.
I've never said that about any planet.
The Transformers do have a god, and his name is Primus.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Beaver.
Come on down to Cybertron and meet some friends of mine.
I do want to say we are $300 away from Scott and Leslye singing.
Oh, I gotta look up the lyrics.
Get those donations in now.
Pick a little, talk a little. That's the one here.
Well, the problem with Pick a Little, Talk a Little is it's harmonizing, which I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What about Mary and the Librarian?
A live stream. Harmonies on a live stream always sync up really well.
They time out. Mary and the Librarian.
That's
well,
not
we
really
could do. We could do. You're right that the live stream, but we could do separate songs.
Okay.
We just could do.
Sing Suddenly Seymour. That's what we want.
Yeah, we should do that.
Oh, you have to sing. You have to sing the dentist song. That's what I think needs to happen.
I would rather sing Suddenly Seymour. I always wanted to be Seymour, not the dentist.
Audrey sings Suddenly Seymour.
They both do, don't they?
They both, yeah. It's a duet.
Yeah.
Scott, you want to sing "I'm a Mean Green Mother from Outer Space"?
I used to, during car trips, I used to fast forward that song because it had the word shit in it, and I didn't want my parents to hear it.
I hope you're, yeah. I mean, you can say whatever you want on this stream. You don't need to worry about that.
Well, I'm worried that the last living parent I have, my mother, is watching maybe, so I'm not going to say it.
She loves Watto.
All right.
Were you raised religiously?
I was, yeah. How about yourself?
Same, yeah. What was your religion? Do you mind me asking? You can just say.
I don't mind you asking. I'm not going to answer, but no. Like Baptist Christian.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Catholic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Catholic
you know
school, the whole thing.
All the prayers and stuff.
Yeah, I've forgotten all of them, but yeah.
But you know all the lyrics to Right Here in River City.
in its own way, a form of prayer, if you think about it.
True. What song are we going to sing? Let's see. Till There Was You. No, he just sings that there. Do they have any duets together?
Mary and the Librarian, isn't that a duet?
I think he just sings it.
No, he just sings it.
I think so.
Fuck. Just like a man. He sings the whole thing himself at her.
Man singing.
It's a pox upon Broadway, man singing.
Yeah, Scott, you could sing it, and Leslye, you could walk around past those books and shelve them.
Just like. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
Don't give it away.
All right, we're at $200 more. So $200, that's very easy, guys. If everyone donated right now, 20 cents, we would get there. But everyone should donate $1. There's 800 of you watching. Let's donate $1 each.
I think 20 cents is maybe a little more reasonable.
Oh, Luke's. It's either Luke's Wish or Luke's Wish. Says Light a Rose.
Light a Rose, yeah.
I'm home again, Rose.
Okay, sure.
We could try it. Gotta look up the.
Till There Was You seems to be the top suggestion. Yeah.
Which one?
Till There Was You.
Till There Was You.
Yeah.
Which, my parents played at their wedding. Till There Was You.
Are they still together?
Because it doesn't have the word shit in it.
If you'd been paying attention earlier, you would know that only my mother has survived.
Right.
The clutches of death.
Right. Like Richard Marquand.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
My father.
I'm David Lynch now. Yeah.
Your dad got Marquand.
He's with Richard Marquand now.
That's right. Strolling up to St. Peter, arm in arm. Hey, Mind if we take a look around?
I got the text from George on Thursday that said, Watto, did you hear? Lynch Marquanded. He's with Richard now.
Oh, wow, that is interesting. Like, he'd be like, hey, you did the job I turned down.
And yet we both end up in the same place. Heaven.
Do you guys think that there is a heaven? And if so, is there a hell? Or is there just a heaven and everyone gets to go there?
Great question.
That is a good question.
This is the classic, is Hitler in heaven question.
No, I didn't ask that.
You said, is there a heaven?
Why is everything about Hitler
everyone
for you?
gets to go there. You said, is there a heaven? And does everyone get to go there?
Why is everything else?
Is it true, George, that you based Han Solo on Hitler?
No. Hitler, how would I have filmed The Last Crusade? That would have been impossible.
Patrick, what is
canon?
Hitler?
We have passed 13,000, so we do need to say. You guys do need to say.
All right, what we need to decide which one. We can trade off, by the way. We can trade off.
We'll let you guys decide.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can trade off. That's a good idea.
Whatever you're most comfortable with.
Hold on. Okay.
Holding.
Let me see the lyrics here. We're probably in the same
yeah.
register.
I think so.
Do you want to do Till There Was You, but go back and forth?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Do you want to start in a key you're comfortable with? And I'll
Oof. Never good at that stuff. All right. There were bells on a hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you.
There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you.
Then there was music and wonderful roses, they tell me, in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew.
There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. Wow,
I picked a high key for you, and you nailed it. Holy shit!
Thank you. Watto
left. Watto left.
Okay.
Watto left.
Right. Your voice is so good, Scott. Holy shit!
Yours is amazing. Are you in the show you wrote?
No. Although there is singing in my show. It's a play, but they do sing.
You should do what Billy Joe from Green Day did and just show up at certain performances and just sing.
By the way, yeah, not a bad move. That was so good. I picked a high key for you. I feel, but you did it.
It was such a pleasure to share a duet with you.
It was really. I think we really held space for that duet, and
I hope that was worth the extra thousands that people pledged.
Yes, it was.
So.
Scott,
George,
should we auction?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
You like to joke around, Scott. But you have the voice of an angel.
He does. It's really good.
He's a little embarrassed. He's a little uncomfortable because you exposed something really lovely there.
Well, that's the dichotomy of life, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know.
I mean,
Have
one minute this guy's asking, is Hitler in heaven? And the next minute,
I just want to make it clear. I was not asking.
We know you hate him. We know you hate him.
That's a little strong for my feelings on Hitler.
I didn't say that.
Let's stop putting words in my mouth. Have you ever is there a Star Wars musical? Has there ever been one?
I mean, there's musical numbers in Star Wars. There's Jedi Rocks.
There's Jizz, obviously.
Yeah. They did songs when they did the holiday special, and obviously I was not a part of that aspect of it at the time.
When you say obviously, why would that be obvious to us?
Because I've been very vocal over the years about, for a long time, I was very against the holiday special because I didn't really have a lot of control over it. It was not well done. In the past decade or so, I've come to love it. I think it's great. And, there's great music in that. Great music.
There's music in the Acolyte, Leslye.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's music in all of the Star Wars properties, pretty much.
I guess that's non-diegetic, but there's a song that plays over the credits, and then there's thank you, Scott. And then there's there's the Witches song.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I guess you would count the Witches song as music because Michael Abels, the composer, composed it. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the Witches song fully counts, but I just want to circle back, Patrick. Music plays over the credits would make every movie a musical, basically.
No, there's a few.
Here's what I'll say, Wado.
The Witches song makes it count. I agree, but there is music that plays over the credits.
The song in the credits was the first thing that popped in my head. Then, as I was saying that sentence, I remembered the song.
Yeah, that's really the important part of it, syncing what happens in here with what happens out here. Like you want to really
these two things.
These two things, you want to get them working in sync, in tandem. Because the worst is when this guy starts going and this guy is like, wait up, I got stuff to say that's more accurate. Patrick's just like, no, and the brain's just like, wait, let me correct it. No, too late, I'm saying it.
Hey, I brought something to auction. Is that
absolutely?
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
More than absolutely. Crabsolutely.
Crabsolutely.
Are we auctioning?
Crabsolutely.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, if there's anything you want to auction, we've had a lot of people come on and offer items signed or unsigned that we can auction off to raise more money.
Nice.
Do you have more questions for me on your list while we're gathering?
George pulls that down. George feels like this turned into a musical.
It's felt like a great opportunity. Now it's over.
I've gotten a few Blu-rays from Shout Factory recently, and they send me a poster with them. So here's a poster.
I fall into this same trap, Scott. I got fucking 15 posters.
No. So here's one to the faculty.
Here we go.
Now, you will sign it? You'll sign it, Scott?
I'll sign this, and I'll sign it both as myself and as star of Trap, Josh Hartnett.
Perfect.
I'll forge his signature, and I will forge it to the best of my ability. I will look on eBay to see if there are any signed items he has signed, and I will try to sign it exactly like he has signed.
Now, just to be clear, you're being very generous, and if the answer is no, that's fine. But would you be willing to make this offer that you will sign it as yourself and a faculty cast member of the highest bidder's choosing, or is it Hartnett only?
Wow. Well, taking a look at the other people in the faculty, I see Usher.
Usher's in the faculty?
Usher's in the faculty. I think Usher is in the faculty. I think Clea Duvall.
Clea Duvall. How about Ali Larder? Is she in the faculty?
Let me look at the cast of the faculty. I know Elijah Wood definitely in the faculty.
You definitely have what's her name from Fast and Furious.
BB Newirth, friend of the show. BB Newirth is in the faculty.
Jordana Brewster from Fast and Furious. Yes.
Are you willing to consider signing it as cast members who are not in the faculty?
Yeah, cast members of what, though?
Other things.
Cast members of the faculty. So it has to be someone who's been in a cast before?
Yes. And that includes, have they broken an arm or a leg, and they've been in a medical cast.
Okay. I'm willing. Yeah, whatever the top bidder wants, I'm willing to sign it as them. To the best of my ability, I'll do a little bit of research. I'll do, trying to track down these signatures. I'll do, 5 hours of research.
here is who Wikipedia listed as the main cast of the faculty.
Okay.
Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall, Laura Harris, Josh Hartnett, Sean Hatosy, Famke Janssen, Phoebe Newirth, Robert Patrick, Usher Raymond, Jon Stewart, Elijah Wood. It's a good group.
It's a good group of people. If you have that group of people in a movie, I don't see how you go wrong.
And it'd make for one hell of a poster.
Sure. I don't believe the majority of them are on this poster. This poster only has 6 of them. But totally willing to sign as Jon Stewart or anyone else who's in that cast or the cast of anything else or who has broken their leg, one of their limbs, and has had a cast on them.
Okay, we're at $100 right now. And as you're bidding, also include who you would want Scott to sign as. Because I saw there was a previous bid for $70 in Vin Diesel, but that has been outbid by Lucas Koukas.
Vin Diesel has been in the cast of several motion pictures. I don't know about any high school plays, but I would be willing to sign as Vin Diesel, definitely.
Okay, Lucas Koukas, $100 at Usher is the current high bid.
Usher, okay.
Yeah.
Usher Raymond. I'll throw in a Raymond.
It's very kind of you.
Yeah. Did Usher get excited when he heard a show was called Everybody Loves Raymond? And then...
Okay, we're at $150 Francis Ford Coppola from Hard Crocodile is the high bid.
Someone in the comments says, "How about a member of an actual faculty?"
Cited as your favorite teacher.
One of their favorite teachers. I'm willing to sign as your favorite teacher as well.
This is very... Lucas Cook is back in at 175 Usher. He really wants it to be an Usher poster.
Usher. I have to
Bless
ask,
you.
Is it racist if I sign as Usher?
Usher's in the movie, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know, but
He's asking if it's racist.
So
if it's
maybe
like cultural appropriation if I sign.
How about this? How about you sign Scott Aukerman and then you sign Usher?
$180 as Leslye Headland.
Oh wow.
Up to $200 Coppola.
Oh wow. Leslye, if that person wins, are you willing to send me your signature so I can study it?
Absolutely. So you can, yes, yeah.
I may offer it up to a handwriting analysis person as well.
You know what? I'll just write it down now and hold it up to the. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Scott, you could ask John Ennis to do that.
What?
You could ask John Ennis to do the handwriting analysis.
Is he a handwriting analysis person now?
No,
in the movie Zodiac.
It's from Zodiac.
Okay.
Mr. shows John Ennis as handwriting expert.
I always find it interesting what my fellow Mr. Show castmates are up to these days.
Yeah.
Especially where they are in early January.
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon?
What's
didn't quite hear you. I beg your pardon?
Why are you begging my pardon?
Because he might be begging for a pardon.
It just feels like pardons are a thing that's going to happen pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good signature.
Let me screenshot this. Hold on.
Jeremy
Okay.
But, you got to win, though. You know what I mean? Like, or not win.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Do you win an auction? Is that what happens?
I think so. Yeah, but right now that is still the high. Well, no, hold on. No, 200
Francis
Coppola.
Ford Coppola. Yeah, Coppola's still up there.
We're back at Coppola.
Yeah, although we're no longer specifying Francis Ford, so you could do a Roman.
That's true.
You could do Sophia.
You
An
could
auction is
do
one of the only things you can win just by having the most money, other than the presidency.
God! You dirty dog!
Oh, fucking shit. That's so funny. Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh,
the balloons.
Should we Should we start to call 200?
200 for Coppola, unless Dan Engler wants to come back in with a raised bid for a forged Leslye Headland signature, which now we've seen a preview of how that might look.
Patrick, do you want to do a going, gone, or?
Yeah. $200 going once. It is. $200 going twice. And sold for 200.
Okay, let me screenshot that too, because that's important evidence.
Complete with misspelling.
FF cop. Oh wow.
Oh, listen, I'm just laughing at my own jokes so that I can feel a part of this.
All right,
feel a part of this.
Who won and
I will get you all. I'll get you all that info, and I can mail it if you want me to.
I feel like I'm seeing a couple of guys in a couple of weeks that I can give this to.
Interesting. Yes.
Or wait, Patrick, you live around here, don't you?
I do live around here. Yeah. But also, Dan Engler just offered $100 for Leslie's Coppola signature. So, Leslye, if you want to...
Wow.
Dan! Bless you. Yeah. We're auctioning that off.
Okay, Leslye, will you...
See if I can find something to auction off.
If you have something additional to auction off, but let's also have you sign the Coppola signature, and then we can send that to Dan Engler.
Yes.
You guys! I'll absolutely send that to Dan.
Great.
You maniac, you filthy animal.
Oh.
What are we up to right now?
We are currently at 13,740.
Okay. And there are a couple of stretch goals that were owed, right? I know we'll do them in a little bit, but I just want to make sure we're keeping track.
Yes, we're keeping track. Watto, can I auction off a big one right now? I think this one is fun. You ready?
You're asking for my permission? It's the George Lucas talk show. Why don't you kick it over to the main man?
Because George is not paying attention right now.
George is paying attention.
I'm looking at your schedule. You put all the Eastern time things in Pacific time.
Okay, I don't know. We've done New York Comic Con a few times, and our first New York Comic Con back after COVID, we were sponsored by a company called Microclimate.
This was October 2021.
Yes, which is a company that made breathing apparatuses post-COVID so you could go into places. And we all wore Microclimate helmets. This is I believe a $500 helmet in 2021. You put your head in, it like vacuum seals around your head, and then you plug it in, and it will like feed quote unquote clean air into it. We're at $50. I see this already. This is going to cost a lot to ship, so let's make sure that this one gets up higher than $50. But $75 I see. Yes, this contraption I see $150. This did give George a panic attack.
Yeah,
he wore it at New York Comic Con.
This is the only time we've ever essentially been sponsored by a product. Because we said, will someone help us buy these so we can safely do Comic-Con? Now, bear in mind, our audience didn't have these. One of our guest panelists did not have this.
Yeah.
And the company reached out and said, we will donate to you these free masks if you talk about us during the panel. Or we said we'll talk about you a lot. And we did talk about them a lot. But the thing is, what we didn't realize is that the microphones were a problem because we just had handheld microphones. It was really hard. I couldn't hear anybody. We couldn't hear each other.
Yeah,
in the thing.
We were sweating profusely.
Sweating. They were fogging up.
Yeah. So. I mean, look, they got what they wanted. We did talk about them consistently throughout the show, but we specifically talked about how incompatible their product is with doing live comedy.
Not everything has to be. Not every product, I mean, has to be compatible with doing live comedy.
Most are not, in fact.
Yeah.
It just was a great it was a great example of a product placement backfiring to such a tremendous degree that no one watching thought, I wish I was in that helmet that's completely fogged up and they can't hear
it was a real Garden Weasel situation.
Can I ask George, did it make you?
Hey, now does come with a second visor, and it is red. I don't know why it's red, but it does come with the second one.
It's infrared visor.
George, did it make you reconsider the design of the Stormtroopers and how kind of claustrophobic that would be to be? And here's the other thing about Stormtroopers: they're being shot by lasers, or whatever these are.
Lasers,
and then they die. So the armor doesn't do anything.
Hold on, when do they die?
Like when they're shot by the lasers.
Simple question: when do they die? No, they're incapacitated. When do they die?
So you think that every Stormtrooper who's ever shot in Star Wars is just down on the ground going, "Oh"?
Well, I don't even know if they do that. A lot of times they don't even do that. A lot of times
they might simply. They might be just simply doing a quick 10-minute meditation in honor of David Lynch.
I honestly ask you if you've ever seen in any Star Wars media a Stormtrooper funeral or a burial.
I think that's a good idea for one of Disney Plus's next shows. Just Stormtrooper funerals.
You know what? Do you know what most Stormtroopers die of?
Old age.
Shame.
So
like that, it's just like in that it's like Sir Anthony Hopkins says in the David Mamet penned movie The Edge. Are you familiar? That's the one where Anthony Hopkins fights a bear in the woods. You know this movie, written by David Mamet. Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins are in the woods, and there's a bear after them. And Sir Anthony Hopkins says, "I'm gonna kill the motherfucker." You ever see that?
Okay.
Yes, George.
And he says that when people get lost in the woods, they die of shame. And I was like, you stole that from Star Wars. I didn't put it into the dialogue, but it's in the subtext. The Stormtroopers die of shame. Most of them at a ripe old age. Because it's humiliating to be shot by the rebellion and then you just fall over and you're incapacitated for 30 to 45 minutes.
Wait, but George, you just said that they die of shame at a ripe old age. They're dying of old age. If they die of shame, they die when they get the shame.
Yes.
So you're saying that there are old Stormtroopers who are just about...
In the Star Wars universe, if you are medically diagnosed, I mean, this isn't a medical issue this way, but let's imagine there was a doctor who could diagnose you with shame. He would say, you be this here. You mind this? You be the Stormtrooper. You just been shot. I'm checking out, make sure you're okay. You're not going to die. It was just incapacitating you, but I have detected a certain amounts of shame in your bloodstream.
Speaking of shame,
slowly poisons people. Sorry, Leslye, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say real quick, you guys. Speaking of shame, the 150 bid for the helmet.
Yeah.
That's
it really stalled out here, and
it's shameful.
A high quality product.
Yeah.
Now,
Patrick, are you willing to sign the helmet as any person?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it right now. If whoever wins it right now, you can watch me sign it.
So Scott,
as someone else.
Yeah. I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. They're taking care of their own business. You're a Stormtrooper, Scott. I'm your doctor. I've just told you. I've diagnosed you with shame. What are your questions for me, your doctor?
Okay. Am I in immediate danger?
No. You will die of it. It is fatal.
Everyone will die.
No, not necessarily.
No.
Emperor Palpatine might not die unless his granddaughter gets to him and teams up with the Ghost of all the Jedi.
Yeah, Betty White will never die unless they run a bunch of magazine covers and announce a TV special.
Okay, Doc, I don't know what you're talking about right now with Emperor Palpatine.
The bad news is you will die of this. The good news is it's going to be a slow death. You're going to probably live another. How old are you, Stormtrooper?
I mean, I'm 25.
25. Okay, so you're about 8 years from your Jesus year, and you're probably going to live another, let's say, 30 to 80 years.
Okay, you're just talking about old age right now. Me dying of old age.
No. You won't die of old age. You will die of shame.
What if I was hit by a bus right now?
Well, then that'll kill you first. God, what kind of an idiot are you? Yes, obviously, this doesn't make you. Shame does not make you.
I don't think I'm an idiot.
You just asked if you got hit by a bus, would it kill you? If the bus hits you hard enough to kill you, the shame will not protect you. This is not a benefit. I want you to hold on, take the chart back out. I want you to take this seriously.
Are there buses in Star Wars?
Yeah. They're called space buses.
Oh.
I do also want to point 1B BBR, who is currently the highest bidder on the helmet, says, "Come on, please outbid me." So they're at 150. If anyone wants to outbid them, now's the time.
Please outbid me.
Patrick, let's do a little showmanship. Is there something you can do to sort of add a little more razzle-dazzle to the item?
Do you have anything in your kitchen, like a muffin or something, you could throw into the helmet? You get a free muffin with it.
What if you put the helmet on and you dabbed to the camera?
Yeah, sure. Will that add?
What if you put the helmet? What if you put the helmet on and ate a salad?
Yeah. Okay. I think you need to eat food in the helmet while dabbing.
I'm amazed you think this is more value added than a free muffin.
Here's the bowl of chili. I'll try doing it.
Wait. Will you fill the helmet with make it a big bowl of chili?
It'll all seep out. I can't do this in here. I'm eating
Patrick. Yeah. I'm sorry. Chili is an astonishing choice for an hours-long live stream. I cannot believe that is what you've decided to eat on camera with hours left to go.
And that's not a small bowl.
No, that's a big-ass bowl of chili.
That's like a pho-sized bowl of chili.
That's a deep bowl. Okay, wait. Slime McAwesome says, eat the chili, fart in the helmet, and then put the helmet on.
I don't know if I'll try to eat it inside the helmet. Let me see if I can eat it with the helmet on. Hang on.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but are we getting money for this? Because if you're just doing it for the bit.
The idea is that this will incentivize someone to donate more to buy the helmet.
I have a question for, I have two questions. I have a two-part question. You know what that's from? Drop it in the chat. I had a question for George, but I also had a question for you guys. The first thing is, should I auction something? I didn't know we were auctioning, so I definitely want to auction. Should I auction something serious or something funny?
Either one.
Or both.
I think if you maybe both. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to raise as much as we can for the fire relief funds. Yeah.
I like my possessions too much to auction off something serious.
I get it. Okay, I mean,
Tenenbaums. Fat black Patrick Swayze knew that it was Royal Tenenbaums. You win being the biggest nerd.
Great. Let's do 150 going once on the helmet to 1B BBR. Oh, Scott, people are asking if you have any extra copies of the book. 1B BBR, 150 going once.
Let me look.
Yeah, 1B BBR going twice.
Did you eat the chili?
I did.
Did you fart in the helmet?
I haven't yet.
You want to give it a shot?
I don't think I can right now, but if I need to later, I will.
Maybe eat some more chili.
Hey, Leslye, this is a good question. 1 BBR sold. Leslye, here's a question from S. Greenwell. Does Natasha Lyonne play pranks on set?
Good question. I'm trying to remember if she did. I don't think so, but the reason I'm pausing is because she's so mischievous, you know, that I'm like, wait, maybe she did. Like, oh God, she's just so funny. She's such a funny person. Like for example, something she would do is like, we'd just be waiting for the shot to get set up or something, and she'd go, "Remember littering?" Like, what the fuck? She's like, you know, eat a pizza and just on a paper plate and just throw it out the window of a cab, you know. But in my mind, maybe she actually did that and it wasn't a joke. Like, did she actually do that in my brain? But happy to answer Russian doll questions as well as Acolyte questions. But you got to pay up.
That's true.
Sorry, kids.
I do have a book. It is signed by myself, Lauren Lapkus, Paul F. Tompkins, Sean Diston, and Jessica McKenna. I'm
Murderous row.
Willing to sign it as the person of your choice. as well as include an inscription, rather, not a transcription. Although if you have something you want me to do a transcription of, I'll do that as well.
75.
And yeah, really like a TV show or something. I could do a transcription or something, or maybe even your favorite episode of the podcast. Only 5 minutes, though.
5 minutes is a lot.
And pick one podcast bit.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm reverse auctioning myself. But
people are asking, what was the book? Let's give them a.
Oh, sorry, it's the Comedy Bang Bang book that came out. I'm still writing 2024 on my memories. In 2023, it came out in 2023. Wonderful comedy pieces. A introduction by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote music for Star Wars. George.
Yeah, ooby.
George, what are you eating?
Bowl of chili.
You're also eating chili?
I'm gonna DoorDash chili right now.
George, do you have chili on hand at all times?
Yeah, we make them off the Skywalker Ranch. We got cows on the side of the mountain.
Leslye, did you stay at Skywalker Ranch at all?
Yes, I did. Yes, a bunch of times. Because
thing?
you do sound at Skywalker. So
is it a hotel? Why did you say?
Oh no, it's not a hotel. It's like a compound, I guess is the best way to put it.
But they have sleeping quarters?
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. And each one, they're like little suites, and each one is named after somebody that inspired George.
Like we got chili on tap. We got chili on tap.
So like there's a Watto room, there's a Jar Jar Binks room, there's a,
Yeah.
Someone said, is it Robot Squid is killing me. Is it a compound like Waco? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely.
A little bit.
Did you get to go into the archive?
Yes, I did.
What do we see in the archive? What's cool in the archive?
Oh, just everything. It's so beautiful. It's wow, it was just a moment of like, realness. Like it just blew my mind. Like you saw like all the sorry, I'm not all the old matte paintings. And George, you nailed it in terms of archiving all that stuff. I mean, it's everything. It's original Star Trooper costumes.
Do you see that?
What is that?
The library.
That's the library.
Oh wow. Do they have all the
Oh, the library. The library is crazy, you guys. So the story about the library is that do you know this? George, tell the story of the library.
What you tell what story you want, and then I'll tell you the story I want to tell.
The story of the
you need to be scraping your chili bowl that loudly during.
We're both storytellers.
Well, Leslye, I'll say this. George does have a library story, so we just want to see if it's the same story that you're saying.
And I want to hear it from you before you hear it.
Okay. Yeah. The last, I do want to say, I'm not just crying over matte paintings. I just want to say also they had the Grail Diary. They had original, the kit bashed ships, had the original Stormtrooper uniforms, which I thought was amazing because the boots are just cowboy boots sprayed white. I mean, it just reminds you that, episode 4 is like, an independent film. Like, it's really incredible.
So 4 episodes 1 through 3, independently financed, indies.
Yes. Also, yes, exactly. I also have a question for you, George, but I'll finish up with this. But,
library stories first, then
the Indiana Jones jackets, there were like 20 of them. And because when you're archiving, I actually started, my first job in Hollywood was archiving. So archiving Gangs of New York. And
A lot
Yeah,
of
it was
ears.
wild.
A lot of ears, right? Jars of ears.
Yeah, a lot of ears, jars. I mean, that was a wild.
Jar Jar
I'll
ears.
tell you guys that story another time, but yeah, it was really, it's just beautiful. So, oh, and then there were all these concept designs that the artists had created of, you know, aliens, ship designs, like all this stuff. And there was stamps that George would put. Do you guys know this?
Mm-mm.
Well,
No.
there were stamps that you
George
would
knows.
well, George knows.
George
this story,
knows.
yeah. But there's these stamps that would say like yes, no, you know, like you know.
Oh, famous Star Wars.
No, with a. It's just.
That's what that was based on, right? Your stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, you looked at the stamp and you were like,
Yeah.
It's a little short. How can we?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have it. I also have it on me.
What does that mean, George?
Like,
You
I
stamped
got
yourself?
the stamp of no.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Like a tramp stamp?
Yeah. I call it a little chaplain stamp.
You call it but is it above your buttocks?
Yeah.
So it's a little
Okay.
tramp stamp.
It's a little tramp.
Yeah, I call it a little chaplain stamp because he was the little tramp.
Yes.
Give me a
Yeah.
chaplain. And they said, you know, like a little mustache. I said, no. Not a, I don't want
They
to.
said, do you mean a Hitler?
I'm a chaplain. In heaven, everything is fine.
CBB book is up to 360. I also want to just acknowledge we have 2 library stories left to tell, but go on about your little chaplain tattoo.
It's just like the stamp that I put on the books. Continue the library story.
Leslye.
Oh, so what they told me when I visited the library is that when the old studio system existed, each studio had their own. Sorry, I just texted my wife. I'm still on the live stream, and she wrote back, "I don't know what a live stream is."
Tell her to come say hi. Tell her, bring her in.
No, I'm in my office. Otherwise, I'd drag her in here with the baby.
Yeah.
My baby that was born on May the 4th. So
Yeah.
Wow. How old is your baby?
she's 20 months.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, she's a baby. No.
We have a 27-month-old.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, they're pretty. Is that your first baby?
First and only. Never going to have another one.
I love an only. I love an only baby.
They had to do an operation on my nutsack to get this one. I'm not going through that again.
Hot. I think we should hear that story instead of the library story.
No.
There's room for all 3 stories.
It's kind of a library in a way.
A library of cum.
Yes, come inside the library.
The Library of Congress.
So what else happened in the library story?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been trying to tell it forever. Okay, so when I went to the library, what they told me is back in the studio system, each studio had their own library. So if anybody was working on a film and wanted to read about X, they would go in and they would sign out the book. I don't know if you guys know how libraries work. It's kind of anyway, it's an old timey thing. And what happened was as they were closing, George bought up the libraries. So you could find, as you know, George, it was really excellent, excellent thing to do.
I'll buy that library.
And so you can like look at a book, that's, and the last person to check it out would be like Edith Head.
Look at a book.
It was wild. Yeah, he's got so many things in there that are just like astonishing. Yeah.
I'll say this: your 2 library stories could not be different.
Tell me, tell me.
George, go
All
ahead.
right. So I'll try and tie them in. So in the same way that a lot of the studio's libraries ended, my first marriage ended in divorce, and in the same way that
that puts it into context for me, by the way. Thank you.
And in the same way that people check out books from the library, I wanted a beautiful stained glass piece as the centerpiece of my library, and so I hired this stained glass artist. And instead of checking out books from the library, it turns out he was checking out my wife. And so I was fully cuckolded by this man, this artist. But I'm a big believer in separating the art from the artist, and I put my money where my mouth, I guess, isn't. And and so the stained glass remains to this day, despite the fact that it is could be considered a reminder. You know, it was created by the man who played a role in the end of my first marriage.
Played a big role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one would argue
that's not just a cameo.
Depends how you tell the story.
One of the principal roles.
Could be a principal.
We're
Or
at
a lot could
$4.
happen off camera. It depends how you tell the story. Could be like, hey, where's the stained glass guy? He doesn't have a lot of lines. He's just like, he's in there with who, etc.
Mm-hmm.
He's like
Chekhov's stained glass guy.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I mention Chekhov? Are you?
I don't care if you bring up Star Trek stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
What do you mean original Chekhov?
Leslie, do you like Star Trek?
Yeah.
I like TNG. I don't know that much about Star Trek, meaning I wouldn't be able to hold up, against the best. But
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from the era where TNG was actually airing on a thing called television. So that was fun. But George, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you resent that you get a lot of shit for working after the fact on the special editions, and Ridley Scott can't stop recutting Blade Runner? Thoughts?
Great question.
Yeah. And follow up, have you made any changes this week? Because I know you made some last week, didn't you?
Yeah. I made a few last week. I mean, these are just for me. I can't get them on Disney Plus. I'd love to hack in, upload new ones.
I'd love that. Could you give me like a login to your Plex server so I could just see whatever changes you made?
George's Plex server is wild. George does cuts of other people's movies too, and adds things to them.
Adds characters and
like
Jar Jar must be in so many movies that you've.
Sure, yeah.
Think of all the movies you've seen where no one steps on Jabba the Hutt's tail, and imagine a cleanly inserted scene of that character, footage shot decades ago, suddenly stepping on Jabba's tail.
Yeah, imagine
Citizen Kane,
the brutalist stepping on the tail. How much more brutal can you get than that? Pretty brutal. Yeah, and Leslye, what was your first question? Was do I mind getting a lot of grief when Ridley?
Yeah, do you resent that? Do you resent that?
I mean, Ridley gets a little bit of grief for it, but it's Ridley makes a lot more movies than I do nowadays. He's very busy, and so I sort of feel like he's sort of, even when he has a big hit movie, it's sort of operating at a different level of. The problem with Star Wars is the more people get into it, the bigger it becomes, the more people who are angry about it. It's sort of a sign of popularity when you realize, like, wow, there's so many people who are absolutely furious. It's actually a relatively small percentage of people who are doing most of the complaining. They just have a bigger microphone, a bigger platform for complaining. It used to be these guys would write a letter to Starlog magazine, and that would be the end of it. You could just sort of ignore it. Now they'll sort of create a YouTube channel, and they'll just like go on and on and on about just really ridiculous complaints. And in a lot of times I do feel sorry for them, because if they, I feel like I sense a lot of frustration. A lot of these, let's face it, a lot of these guys. All these dudes who they have all this energy for complaining. And I do get the sense that if they could tell stories, they would, but they kind of can't level up to stories. So they sort of are here with uninteresting complaints about things. Because like I'm not one of those people who says like, oh, the critics, why don't you make your own movie, that sort of thing, because there are critics who write eloquently and thoughtfully about film and about cinema, and there's a lot of value to that. But then there's a lot of, at a lower level, a lot of people who are just whining about children's movies. And I do feel I don't feel that bad for them because there's more people more deserving of sympathy. But fundamentally, any complaint about Star Wars is just indicative of any, like, I don't want to say any criticism, but a lot of complaints about Star Wars are more indicative of a dissatisfaction with themselves. What?
A guest? Someone in the waiting room?
I
just want to say. Okay, I'm going to leave.
Ahead.
Wait, hold. No, I was just going to say, T.F. Stevens, that is a ringtone of Back to the Future Discovery Sting.
Great.
That is my text.
That was yours. Okay, I wondered whose that was.
Yeah.
And we're at 4. Let's do last call on this book. 420 going once. 420 going twice. Sold. 420 hat.
450. 450.
All right.
Who did 450?
Vogon Sid. 450. Going once. 450. Going twice. Sold. 450. Vogon Sid.
Wow.
450.
There you go.
Okay, I need to know what either inscription or transcription they want.
Great.
Yeah.
All
Yes,
right.
Jordan.
Well, we'll get that information to you, right?
Leslye?
I want to auction something. But I want you to let. Can you let more guests in?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to auction off 2 house seats to my play on Broadway and a signed program as well.
Amazing.
Very cool.
These would be orchestra seats. It's a $600 value. But start it whenever you want. Just telling you guys that's how much they are because I'm on Broadway. So,
hi everyone.
Value.
There's a new fire a couple of miles from my house.
Cool.
Hey,
Really?
We're breaking some news on the thing. Get out of there, Scott.
Fuck.
I'm gonna stay here for a little bit.
Okay. No, I mean just like
forward progress has been slowed though.
Okay.
oh.
All right.
All right. Let's start the bidding. Let's start $100. We'll start at 100. We'll go from there.
and just FYI, the show runs until February 2nd, so it'll be just so you know when you're bidding.
And by the way,
You need to be able to get to Midtown Manhattan before February 2nd if you're bidding on this.
That's correct.
If you're walking and you're west of the Mississippi, I wouldn't suggest it.
I'd say pick up the
if you're
pace.
on your-
maybe.
Classic Los Angeles. Doesn't want to walk anywhere.
By the way, when Leslye says house seats and you win and you get there and you're like, why aren't these front row center? The best seats are actually a few rows back. Is that right? A little
That's
Broadway.
right.
Little
Yeah,
Broadway.
you would be. That's actually a good point, Scott. To be clear, the house seats are basically the best seats in the house, which is why they're called house seats. I just realized. I just realized that. I'm a writer, you guys. Scott's correct. It would be in the orchestra, and they would be, like a couple rows back, basically center of the orchestra. So
you'd be like eye level with all of the performers. And occasionally, occasionally the performers will look at those seats and kind of wink, like I know that you are guests of the person who wrote this. You'll just do a sly, subtle wink. So that's part of what's coming to you if you get these.
We also want to be clear, just so there's no misunderstanding. House seats, these are not seats that you can live in. Like these are not like if you're like, I can sell my house, move out of my apartment.
They are also
I'll go live in these new house seats.
Yeah.
That's not.
They are also not transformers. They are also not robots that turn into into house seats. Yeah. But to plug it a little bit, it's the cast is Zach Quinto, Shailene Woodley, Spock is in the
Trish
show,
from the Divergent series.
Shailene Woodley is in the show. Zach Quinto is in the show. Shailene Woodley of Big Little Lies fame. If you didn't watch Divergent. Barbie Ferreira from Euphoria. David Rasche, who's on Succession as one of the disgruntled white guys that are in
Sledgehammer.
Yeah. And Mare Winningham, Oscar nominee for Georgia. As well as two-time Tony nominee, one of them for Girl from the North Country. If you guys saw that, it's pretty amazing. So
Zach Quinto from the show Brilliant Minds, which my friend Michael created.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Shit. Oh, that's cool. I really like it.
Heroes.
Yes.
Siler.
Isn't your wife in it?
Skylar.
Yes, my wife is in it. Vanessa
No, say it the right way.
also...
Leslye, say it the right way.
Yeah.
My wife.
My wife.
My wife.
You fuck my wife. You fuck my wife.
You fuck my wife.
My wife.
We're at 420.
What is it, Sebastian? I'm just in here arranging matches. And if you know what that's from, drop it in the chat.
Royal Tenenbaums.
Good guess. Good guess. All
right.
That's right. Izzard, Inspector Tiger. You got it first. My wife.
420 going once. 420 going twice.
Don't say it again. Harrison Ford will show up.
Sold for $420. 17-inch corkscrew. Send us your receipt and how we can get in touch with you so we can get you these tickets. Cool.
Room with a view of death. That's what you're trying to remember. LED light.
Yeah.
I've had a rough year, Dad.
All right, you guys.
No,
you have people in the waiting room, I think, right?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming.
I want to see who's coming on. Bye, Leslye. Nice to meet you. And nice singing with you.
Thank you.
I want to know what people are coming on. Yeah.
Oh, he left.
All right, guys.
All right. Bye, Leslye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I don't know how to get off.
Bye.
Hello, Leslye.
Here we
Hello,
go.
Watto. Hello, Hot Sauce for Men.
Hi.
Hello,